Hello, it's BrickBot, and I finally settled down and sorted out my collection, and I'm doing some catching up reviews since there really aren't any new releases in June. Yeah, so I found this giant loader set on sale. Half off at a Toys R Us. Yeah, so that was a good deal, so I was just waiting for the right time, because this is a 2021 release. I mean, the original toy came out in 2021. But this specific box set came out in 23, so this was reissued. And in one convenient big package, instead of like separately. Yeah, because I didn't really want to import this giant 2021 thing when I was overseas. So I'm doing it now. I know others have done it before, but I'm going to get into the characters. Yeah, just looking at the box, it's a nice, like, streaky green. I guess that's the similar packaging style to the just a single loader set. Descended from nobility with his giant sword. That's basically the gist of the speech bubble. And then the three modes, the robot mode, giant loader, carry jet mode. The two of them can ride the trailer, and then the carrier car mode. The giant loader back here. Yeah, you can also see the English name here too, giant loader, not rotor. Then 3 cubes included. And then, yeah, the 3 names here, 1, 2, 3. Fazer, Sonic Boom, and Loader. Similar on the other side, but, you know, just renders of the alt modes. Yeah, so this was off because I guess someone pulled it out maybe, but all the contents are here. Yeah, somebody took off the twist ties, but everything's here. The 2 bots, the main bot, the sword, the 2 accessories, and the cubes. Except the instructions. Yeah, actually, yeah, I think only the instructions were missing from this sealed packaging, but it's simple enough. I don't need instructions.
나는 소닉붐, 세상에서 가장 빠른 로봇이야. 하지만 너무 덜렁대서 뭔가 하나씩 빼먹어. 아무래도 생각이 몸의 속도를 못 따라가는 것 같아. 행동이나 말도 빨라서 이를 순식간에 후다닥 해치우는데 역시나 하나씩 빠뜨리지. 공격할 때는 강력한 소닉붐 충격파로 상대 어를 빼놓는 게 특기. 합체 후 자이언트 로더의 오른팔이 되며 빠른 스피드로 오른손 펀치를 날린다고 파파파파! 소리보다 빠르다. 생각하기도 전에 움직이는 나는 소닉붐 백자. 충격을 느끼는 순간 정신을 잃게 되는 강력한 충격파 소닉붐 쾅! 엄청난 스피드로 공격한다. 소닉 펀치! 다다다다다다 와다다다다다다! 나는 자이언트 로더의 오른팔! 즉, 자이언트 로더도 내가 없으면 아무것도 못한다고. 아차차, 깜빡했다. 나는 뭐든지 하나씩 빼먹는다니까. 그래도 신기한 건 하나만 빠뜨리지 2개 빠뜨린 적은 한 번도 없어. 그게 자랑이냐고? 그래, 자랑이다.
Now there is some confusion and contention with his name, Pager. Because most everyone assumes it's just Pager, because that's what it sounds like, and also, you know, like the beeping messaging thing, which kind of fits his early adapter personality, but I didn't go with that. I thought it was more like the Fazer, like phasing, phase. But the Chinese release of this finally gives us some confirmation that it's Fazer, like as in phase with an F, F-A-Z. Yeah, just had to wait 3 years just to be absolutely sure what his English spelling was. Then again, well, I'm pretty sure this is knight and pawn, but this still is canonically look and pound for the trio, but I think Fazer sounds better. I think it's a unique spelling of Fazer, so get it straight now, this is Fazer, not Pager. Anyway, Fazer is a nice dark azure blue type of little sporty car. Bit toyetic, it's a bit more geometric, like the windows, like vented windows on the back. The spoiler, that's a curved spoiler down. The tail lights. Bit of an indent here. And these big ridge silver headlights and not much of a distinctive bumper other than the Carbot logo. And some more vents in the hood and in the back here. Yeah, it's detailed enough, but this is a pretty small, simplistic car. And that also goes for Sonic Boom. They are 2 very similar looking cars, but they're very much molded differently, even though they have like the same wheels. Yeah, I guess the headlights are also just a big differentiating thing. I guess, you know, narrow front slit things, kind of giving a more retro muscle car feel, I guess. But this is a more sporty car. Yeah, different geometric indents and such, and intakes. And yeah, more raised things here. Also more stuff in the vents. Yeah, the back looks nearly identical. Just the top section here, but otherwise some subtle differences. Yeah, but these are not the most remarkable cars, but they are nice little rolly cars.
나는 자이언트 로더의 왼팔, 페이저. 최신의 기술을 사용해 적을 물리친다고 생각했는데 이미 오래된 기술이라고 해서 충격. 합체 로봇 자이언트 로더의 왼팔로 최신 무기를 담당한다고 생각했는데 옛날 무기라는 말에 또 충격. 그래도 마음이 여린 로더. 빠르지만 뭔가 빼먹는 덜렁이 소닉붐을 알뜰살뜰 챙기는 건 바로 나, 페이저라고. 나는 최신 기술을 사용해 모든 문제를 해결하고 적을 물리치는 페이저 남자. 따끔따끔. 온몸이 따끔거린다. 온몸에서 일어나는 정전기. 스파크! 손이 시려워 꽁. 발이 시려워 꽁. 온몸이 시려워 꽁꽁. 아이스 프로가! 나는 최신 전자제품을 제일 먼저 사는 얼리 어댑터. 나한테 연락하고 싶으면 삐삐쳐. 뭐라고? 삐삐를 모른다고? 제발 최신 기술에 관심을 가지라고. 뭐? 내가 시대에 뒤떨어진 로봇? 말도 안 돼. 난 적을 물리치기 위해 내비게이션도 있다고. 어? 블랙박스는 또 뭐야?
Now to transform Fazer and Sonic Boom at the same time, they're like clones. Transformational clones, like a nice window split here that folds up here. Feet down. Head up, head up. And then I guess you could either use it as a boomerang weapon or plug it right in the chest. Yep, exact same transformation. They're all different molded parts, but just hinge up and then feet, and then chest. Yeah, they may be clone builds. They are like built exactly the same. In fact, it looks like these interconnector joints and the thighs are the exact same pieces, just recolored. And the feet. But I guess they're good basic bots, and they do have good color palettes of just the yellow and the blue for Fazer, and then dark red and flame yellowish orange, yellowish for Sonic Boom. Somehow Sonic Boom's colors remind me of Dragstrip a bit, even though he doesn't have much red. I guess the silver and the black also complemented nicely, like the black painted forearms, silver kneecaps. It does look like a separate molded Carbot crotch there. Yeah, maybe it kind of got a little rough and tumble during the assembly phase, a little scratchy there. It's supposed to have a nice smooth head, just like a big black visor brow-like thing, and then the orange eyes. Pretty plain faceplate, the same color as the other faces, but that's still pretty solid. And then in Sonic Boom, it gets nice little sunken-in cheeks and a silver visor for his head sculpt and a little black there. Same monochromatic, but I guess the red stomach and the red crotch also do give a nice color contrast, and then extra triangular shoulders. Yeah, pretty simple and pretty flat. Yeah, that's a very straight line, all things considered, but these are fine. Really, only major issue is hollow arms, super hollow arms for these 30-ish figures. Yeah, you would not expect to see this much hollowness in Carbot usually. But I guess, yeah, just maybe it's a little... Yeah, a bit disappointing to see that it's that hollow. It feels kind of cheap, even though these are kind of pricey just for 30. For their articulation, nearly full head swivel. Full head swivel for Sonic Boom. Hinge shoulders, and then soft ratcheted transformational shoulder in. Elbow bend, that's just 90, that clicks in, little jabby. Oops, that is a clip, so you can't fold it back unless you shave it down if you want to do that. friction forward and then friction back that much, a little kibble in the way. Thigh swivels at least. Obtuse knee bend, but very close. Then transformational toe in with some obvious gap there. Basic Carbot's basic articulation for a pretty small size.
나는 차를 운반하는 카 캐리어 로더로 위대한 귀족의 후손이다. 삼총사의 듬직한 맏형이자 리더로 평소에는 소닉붐과 페이저를 업고 다니다가 위기에는 셋이 합쳐서 자이언트 로더가 되지. 날트를 이용해 비행이 가능하며 강력한 자이언트 검으로 상대와 싸우기도 하고 날트를 그물처럼 펼쳐 방어를 하기도 해. 자탄, 반갑다. 나는 자이언트 로더의 리더이자 맏형, 위대한 귀족 로더 공작이라고 한다. 맞는 순간 고장이 난다. 오장 광선, 트러블! 적을 자석으로 만들어 세상에 온갖 쇳덩이를 붙여버린다. 매그너타이제이션, 소닉붐, 페이저. 내가 너희를 어떻게 키웠는데, 어버 키우고 아나 키우고 그랬는데 나한테 이럴 수가 있어? 소닉붐, 페이저. 사실 난 너희가 없으면 아무것도 할 수가 없어. 항상 내 옆에 있어줘서 고맙다. 사랑해.
And now Loader, the biggest truck Carbot we ever got to date. A truck Carbot that can actually carry stuff. This is like a mini car carrier that can carry exactly 2 cars. Of course, with his intended teammates, they slot right in there. Yeah, so it's not quite a 4-car carrier truck. I don't know, maybe I still think only 2 would go in here because, you know, what is this top rack? You're just supposed to tie trucks on top of the thing that doesn't look like it has a smooth surface for trucks to go on, but yeah, tangent aside. Yeah, so you can call this the love child of Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus for Carbot, just like how there's also a love child for Metal Carbot. Bringing out the old masterpiece Optimus again. I guess that is a very distinctive front, like there's a grill here and then an additional reinforcement grill. Is that like an extra nose? That just looks like a nose on a grill, like a big grill with a big extra grill or protective plate placed right on top of it. The silver might detract from the actual headlights, which that's a pretty nice placement, but you know, the silver right in here just kind of might draw your eyes away from it, but yeah, it's an interesting type of nose, like an extra very giant sized hood ornament. Sides here, there are some implied windows here and smokestacks that are actually the hinges, so that's a clever way to integrate that. And giant holes in the window here because that's obviously combining holes. And then yeah, a bit of an odd 8-wheeler, like back wheels all the way back here, then 1 wheel here. And then a little cockpit area here that looks like it's a detachable thing, but... And then the nice little Carbot logo here, nice little thing you can get access to. There's some semblance of tail lights here, a little venting here, and even the hollow underside here, even though it's a little waffling here, there's still some intentional detail here. Yeah, that's a double hinge. That's a double hinge that kind of softly locks in there, and you just release that to release the ramp. And there is a little lever here to lift the car to help it roll along out. Oh yeah, and then you can unload the other one just by pushing down on here, and then if gravity doesn't do the trick already, there's a extra lever here just to bump those rear wheels to get it rolling. The most fun to be had with Loader is just to load them up with any other cars and Carbots you can think of putting in there. Yeah, the gravity here just kind of lets it roll, so you can load it with any car that is 7 centimeters in width, which is most of the Chinese Carbots, the smaller releases, which will go really well with the Chinese release of Loader, which is basically identical as the Korean release. Yeah, so just have fun loading all sorts of cars in there and having them roll out. This trailer can be opened up on the sides. And yeah, there's still some good friction here, and then this loading ramp here. That basically doubles as the storage compartment for the sword, so that's a clever double usage. Double function. And yeah, this is double hinge, so it's kind of hard to slot in the top trailer with the top here. Then you just align that to slide over the clips. Oh yeah, so to transform this, to partially get started transforming this, you just remove this. Then just kind of fold over all that. Yeah, I suppose it's like the jet mode. Yeah, just give it a little windowed cockpit and you can call anything with wing protrusions a flying jet carrier thing. Yeah, imagine how this thing actually propulses. Yeah, just a little silly little thing, this is like the trailer, but flying. And very flat. Yeah, just not much to do with here other than as a hoverboard for the other figures. Yeah, you have the slots here over these hexagonal details here. That's just... You can plug in cars on them. No, wait, you just plug in robots on them. And yeah, just in a very straightforward line. Yeah, it's a little too straight, and then yeah, you're just plugging it right on the bases of their feet, so... That's a storage method, but it's a little silly just that they stand perfectly upright while this thing flies like a hoverboard. Yeah, I guess I would have preferred it if it was like maybe this sideways so they could actually look like they're hoverboarding. And yeah, it's not very stable with one. Yeah, there's 2 slots at least, so 2 slots here and there, so there's 4 connection points to use a hoverboard, but they have to be standing straight, otherwise it doesn't really work for them here. And yeah, you can't use this as a feet, you can't use the actual feet just here, so. So without the trailer, you're just left with this kind of gappy thing, so yeah, this obviously is intrusive, so remove that and you get some sort of standard truck cab thing. Pretty flat truck bed. To get the transformation, you see these arms that are neatly tucked in right in the back. Because that's the place they should occupy and they have no other function getting in the way. And then, yeah, these are the side skirts you flip down. Then, soft lock. Hinge forward, like that's a 180 hinge here, and then the grill plate folds up here. Nicely forms the robot chest. And then, little feet down. And then this kibble forms little shoulder plates. Little shoulder wings. This loader might look a little scrawny and a little flat, especially from the side. Yeah, that's pretty thin. Not much depth, but it has unique transformational features, especially the chest. It's mostly the chest that makes it a more distinct transformation than just the most common truck transformation of all. Oh yeah, although this is really annoying. These clips here are just, at least on this copy, they're just really loose. They could easily be knocked off. Good action feature, battle action feature, battle damage pop-off feature. And I suppose he coincidentally is going with an inverse color scheme from the most famous truck transformer. And a little splash of yellow just to break it up. Yeah, although the proportions on this guy, he may look a little weird just because he has pretty short legs and long torso. That's a weird combination to have, so maybe I've seen worse robot proportions. I suppose that's a very stern-looking face, just with the upturned mouth-like faceplate. And orange cheeks, silver crest, big old forehead rectangle for obvious combiner head with thing. Yeah, but I guess it's a nice intimidating face for a Carbot. For articulation, nothing at the head, that's just straightforward. Even though there's a single screw hole right here that could tease a head swivel. Friction all the way shoulder around, outward that much, thanks to the upper shoulder mount. transformational bicep swivel. And then all the way elbow bend for transformation. The backwards butterfly. Leg forward that much. Leg not back that much because of this in the way. 90-degree knee. Full thigh swivel and then the transformational toe down. And then coming to these wires with screw holes mounted to the offside. With intentional molding to cut off from that screw. Interesting to see there. He can do a back arc. Of course, transformational truck back arc. Surprisingly nice upper arm articulation for these pretty thin noodle arms that are like filler arms for combiner arms. And then basic leg articulation. Now for the combination. First, reconfiguring loader and his very loose shoulder kibble. Just relocate that to the opposite feet. And just slide that right in so these little winglets form nice heel supports. Inside heel supports and inside wheels. And then fold back his arms. And then attach his giant trailer. Just right on the arm nubs. Yep, so now he's armless, slightly taller, and big trailer wings. Now for the Fazer. Yeah, this is a bit odd here that the connecting peg goes all the way down to the middle. Yeah, you would expect it to relocate back up here, but it just goes right in the middle. Just kind of clicks it right in the pelvis. Slides in more rather, like slides in from under there, and then big old feet hands. And then that kind of locks in place. Nice solid locky clicky, just push that in. Nice solid click. Sonic Boom should be the same transformation. Slide in. Click in. Just kind of double hinge, oops. Up there go the arms, and then extra crest. Fazer's blue one forms the extra head crest here, and then Sonic Boom's one just goes right in the chest for an extra crest, and then sword. Pretty tiny sword for a giant loader. Loader with small, modest boots, a car trailer wing pack, and big car arms. Carms. Here's your Transformers equivalent. So, I think the arms are okay. It's just maybe a little odd that the connecting point is right in the middle. So he has big overhanging shoulders, like right up there. Like they're kind of shoulder stacked here. Would this look better if the arms were mounted up here? Like up here? I don't know. I guess that makes the arms a little long. Waist up. So, but maybe this looks a little short. Maybe somewhere out here would look more natural. But yeah, so that's your lot. So just a whole lot of stuff above the shoulders that's in equal length to the lower of the arms. They're very specific on which arm is which. Like, this is Giant Loader's left arm and this is his right arm, but there's nothing stopping you from swapping them around from these very nice and very robust joints. Yeah, so just do it the wrong way if you want. Hey, this pin is friction. This has nice friction, but this one doesn't. Or if you just want to be symmetrical, you could just get two Fazers or Sonic Booms. And I suppose these wings aren't that bad, although, you know, they're a little short. Hey, they form nice carrying handles, though. And maybe a little bit of an overhang here, annoying overhang. And these heels, inside heels, do support the extra weight. That's pretty well. And, you know, the trend of just adding an extra fancy crown to the pre-existing combiner head. I mean, this is fine. It's modest enough. It's not super big or super overpowering. And I suppose this extra yellow crest is also just adds a little more color. Complements the rest of the truck pretty well. Of course, added articulation is basically the soft ratcheted arms. That's it. He has heads in his armpits. That's his armpits now, though. Of course, not much articulation other than the hips that are now the outward shoulders. And I guess this transformation to outward, that's kind of loose, so you can go a little outward more. That's loose, though. His not-so-giant sword is, it only connects with the 5mm post, even though this is like a double post. There is a little bit of a dip in there for that, but that's just a shallow recess that's not really holding it, so could work with that port, but it's just not used on Giant Loader, oddly enough. Very fat, 4 perfectly symmetrical nubs in the shape of fingers. Those fingers might look a little too fat. Of course, no elbows, unless you kind of like just cheat the transformation where you just split the legs. And he has a forward elbow now, and an outward like that. So this might look slightly better. Since he also has slightly smaller fists, so I guess you can just Grievous it now. You can just Grievous his arms if you like that. Or just hide them away. For the first half of 2021 flagship combiner of Carbot Season 10, it's alright. Giant Loader is alright. Of course it will be superseded by King Guider in this size, but this is a nice, manageable size. It's like a medium-sized combiner compared to other Carbot combiners. It's solid enough. It's just basically big bot with car arms, like 2 additional parts. It holds pretty well, like, it's pretty posable. Even with the combiner, and maybe this style isn't for you, like these big car shoulders that are a bit overhanging, that just fit odd proportion of managing the kibble and positioning. But I suppose the truck is fine. Maybe the truck is not too impressive with his noodle arms. His initial base robot noodle arms. But this is fine. It's a fine combiner. But yeah, honestly, the most fun thing about this is just the car trailer. Just seeing what sort of cars you can just fit in here on top and bottom. Yeah, so this is okay, I guess, if going on sale, because I just waited for this thing to go on sale because this thing was reissued often. Because, you know, truck Carbot should be popular. And, you know, Season 10 just rolled out in China in early 2024, so this should be easier to get, you know, without the shipping. And I'm sure that's nearly identical to the Korean version. So if you're really willing to spend that much for a good playable truck, just a nice truck robot with lots of playability in the trailer, then this is okay. Well, I guess I have the Season 12 flagship combiner left on the bucket list when I get around to getting it at a good price.